Yeah.
Ted, I brought you on because the government shut down. And the last conversation that you and I had, you pointed out, you was like, it's going to be about 10 days. So you weren't wrong in regards to the time frame. But your thing was Republicans will capitulate.
Right.
That was your thing.
Well, I never counted on the Democratic capacity to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
I should have pulled the clip for the show.
You should have.
And
It's
they capitulated.
How I mean, I do always allow for the fact that they're a bunch of feckless, treasonous fucks, but like this is still like it's on a whole new level. I don't know if you saw like people like Jon Stewart reacting to it, but it's like holy shit. I mean, literally, this would be like the Allies land on the beaches of Normandy on June 6, 1944, and immediately surrender. I mean, it's like, and now we're all speaking German. It's like you were winning. You know, the Democrats clocked 8 days ago. The Democrats cleaned the clocks. Whatever the fuck that means, I don't know where that reference comes from, but cleaned the clocks of the Republicans in all these elections across the country. There was no question about that. There was no misinterpretation of that. All the polling showed that the public was blaming the Republicans, whether that's fair or not. That's true. I mean, all Democrats are sitting pretty, and it's like, oh, we better give up. It's like, and we all know Chuck Schumer privately gave permission to these 7 shithead senators, like including Tim Kaine and John Fetterman, to vote the way they wanted. And they don't always do that. He could easily say like, no, you're not allowed to do that. They vote the way they're told. So I mean, they basically, the whole party just decided we're just gonna. I don't know if they were afraid of what was going to happen with the aviation problems as we headed into the Thanksgiving holiday. But that still, I mean, there was no indication that the public was blaming Democrats for that or was going to. So literally, it's just like the failure of nerve is just staggering here. And I mean, and by the way, today's op-ed pages in the New York Times and elsewhere are trying to paint this like, well, actually, this is a win for Democrats. No.
Whatever.
No, it's not a win, because here's the thing. One of the biggest briefs against Democrats from people like you, Jamal, and me, is that they never fucking fight. Well, they always say, well, we don't have the votes, we don't have this, we don't have that. Okay, here you had this and you had that and you had the other, and you still didn't fight. So it's like this will be what they don't understand is, it's like they don't understand the people who sit on their hands like they did after Bernie was defeated in 2016. That's their big enemy. If people voted equal, if Democrats and Republican voters vote in proportion to their registration, Democrats always win every election. The thing is, Democrats' biggest enemy is turnout and lack of enthusiasm. This just drives lack of enthusiasm. What's the point of voting for these assholes and donating to them and canvassing for them when they don't, when they every now and then they have a chance of doing something, then they crap out? I mean, there really is objectively no reason.
The Trump administration, when he found out that Democrats capitulated, this was their response. The Trump White House, for its part, is cackling, sometimes literally, about the turn of events. 2 White House officials and 2 other Trump advisors could barely contain their giddiness when asked by Zito, I think that's Mediasan's outlet, by the latest instance of Democratic elite capitulation to Trump. Multiple Trump aides and allies kept gratuitously calling them losers and quote unquote pussies as they reveled in the relief from a shutdown that even President Trump was getting Republicans, quote, killed, unquote, politically. Meaning the Trump White House looked at it and says, these guys are losers. These guys are quote unquote pussies. And it was like, we were getting killed.
That's not gratuitous. That's just the use of the English language. They were, I mean, like, oh, if space aliens landed and they said, what's a pussy? Be like, let me show you. Here you go. These guys, that guy right there, Tim Kaine, that's a pussy.
Yeah, man. That, like, if Trump is even acknowledging, God, man, we're getting killed over this. And Trump is trying
which was true, which was objectively true.
He's trying to kill the filibuster, right?
He knows how to read an opinion poll result, right? I mean,
yep. He was like, we got to get rid of the filibuster. We got to reopen the government. The airlines are stopping. This isn't going well for us. We're getting blamed.
The explanations make no sense, Jamal. Like literally, I think it was Susan Collins who said, like, who I hate, or it might have been Murkowski, one of those two, feckless woman. She said, like, well, there was no other deal on the table. So it's like what? Like poo or what would you like to eat? Pee or poo? I think I'll eat somewhere else. I mean,
right. Maybe I just don't eat right now, right?
Yeah,
maybe I'm not hungry enough,
right?
Yeah, they were. How do you have an election where Democrats are even winning in Georgia and certain locations that they never win? They got 2 governor seats, a Muslim Democrat, socialist, like avowed socialist, like not backing away from the term or anything else, like just full blown. Yeah. I am a democratic socialist. That's what I am, and I will fight on that thing. All of these people went in spades, and then take Madani out of it for a moment. Just rando Democrats with rando messages were winning in spades in the governor's races. And you look at them
and Democratic-backed ballot initiatives like the one in California.
Yep. Yeah, the Prop 50 thing. Mm-hmm. And their response is, well, obviously we have to capitulate. Obviously we have to surrender.
I did a cartoon for next week, which has like 2 Democrats at the firing squad, about to be shot to death by a bunch of Trump guys and the Democrats are like, we've got them right where we want them. Right. That's exactly what it is.
It's so pathetic.
I mean,
it's so it's over the top pathetic. And look, my argument is not that I want people in pain, right? I think I take it though as like my mom's health insurance went up by 3 times more than what it was before.
That's not good.
No, that's not good. And she's on a fixed income. And you look at other people who, if this is happening to her, this is going to happen to other people also. This is Medicare, right? Sure. This is government insurance that's gone up by 3 points. Obamacare subsidies are going to go up by 2 to 3 times. People are already getting hurt.
Well, the ACA is toast. Here's my prediction. Within 2 years, it'll be pretty much the system will have collapsed entirely. And it'll be dragging down the private insurance system with it. I mean, without those subsidies, not enough people can afford the insurance to achieve the economies of scale necessary for the theory that the Heritage Foundation had when they conceived of this as Romney Care back in the 90s. It was kind of an unwieldy idea to begin with, but to the extent that it worked at all, which was not well, it's not going to work at all. Going forward. That's it. It's done. And Democrats have only themselves to blame. They think healthcare is going to be a major issue next year. They better hope not, because the voters are not going to come to their rescue with that. What are they going to say? We raised the issue. Blow me, you raised the issue. That doesn't do anything. It's like right? I mean, so fucking what? You raised the issue. You raised the flag. A white flag is what you did. It's like, I mean, the Democrats, they're literally, I mean, I don't even know, like, I think there's something wrong with their brains. There's some kind of payoff, or there's I mean, you know what this reminds me of? History, and about the myth of the stab in the back, right? At the end of World War I, Germany, right? Yeah. The Germans never understood why they lost, right? The German people. And the Nazis capitalized on that. Because it's like, what do you mean we lost? We invaded France, and we we kicked the shit out of the French, and then we lost? And the answer was really, truly yes, because the supply lines were long and it was complicated and they were out of money and there were a lot of side issues. But for the German people, they're like, we invaded them. The war was fought entirely on their turf.
How do we lose?
Like, there's some kind of feckless bullshit going on, like behind the yellow curtain, that is fucking us. And I don't know what it is. And they blamed Jews and shit like that. That was bullshit. But the point is they blamed dark, sinister forces. I never understood that until now. I'm like, oh, I see now. Because it's like the head reels, right? Because it's like, I don't understand how you surrendered. I don't understand how Schumer allowed them, the 7, to vote with the Republicans. It should have been like, hold firm. You've come this far. The letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. You've run the good race. Keep the faith, right? Keep the faith. You've done 32 days. You can taste victory. We all knew that it was like victory was very, very close. And you just, it's like, what? Did you take bribes? What happened? Who got to you? Are you in the Epstein files? What's your story?
My default is that we're in an oligarchical system.
Totally.
And the people who are in the political process don't care about us.
No.
That's my default, right?
That's a
fact. So when I look at stuff like this, I think to myself, okay, well, because my thinking was kind of like yours, right? Well, you at least have to defend the ACA. If nothing else, if you do nothing else in your political affairs, you got to defend the thing that is named Obamacare, which was the last thing that you got accomplished over the course of 20, 30 years, whatever the time frame is.
Correct.
So you got to defend it, right? You got to go to the mat for it. If there's a hill to die on, that's the hill to die on. Correct. Even as imperfect and broken as it is, you need to defend that broken thing.
Right.
And they go 40 days, like Jesus. 40 days, right? Without eating.
Day and night in the desert.
Yeah. And you would think that they would say, Republicans are taking a hit for this. They're taking a political hit. Yeah. We at the very, and you would think that they would say stuff like, they are literally shutting down air traffic and giving food to babies in order to raise your health care. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like the argument works. But no, they don't. What do you think the disconnect is? I know you may be joking about the Epstein thing, maybe not. But what do you think the disconnect is? What do you think that is going on that we're just fundamentally missing? When you told me one time that you were trying to get the job at MSNBC, and they effectively said, all right, you can't criticize Democrats. And you're
not
like,
effectively, not in so many words, not implied, directly.
They said it flat out.
Flat out.
And your thing was, F this. You're out of your mind.
Well, literally, it wasn't even a matter of integrity, Jamal. It was literally a question of, like, I don't know how you do this job. It's sort of like I used to work for a loan department at a bank, and the word went out from corporate, don't make loans for the foreseeable future. Well, I'm like, I'm a loan officer. So you're not going to, it's like, oh, I work at Wendy's. Don't serve burgers. Well, it's going to be hard to do your job, right? So it was like that. I don't know how you do your job as a political commentator on television in a two-party system. If you can't criticize both political parties, it's going to be hard to do your job. You literally just you're going to look like a complete fucking idiot, which is what those guys do look like. Even really on Fox, they have the occasional, criticism of the GOP. Not frequent, but it happens. You see it. You'll in an hour show, you might see one jibe, but from the right maybe, but still you'll see it. It's ridiculous. So anyway, you were saying.
Well, I guess my point was, what do you think is lurking behind the scenes? And this could be the last question. That we are just fundamentally missing. Again, I think we're an oligarchical system. I think these guys are playing off each other, where both sides recognize, well, they will always come back. That for all intents and purposes, however bad one side is, meaning Democrats don't get anything done, Republicans get stuff done, which means you're always moving to the right.
Always.
But you may be always moving to the right because you have
it's that ratchet thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if one side doesn't do anything, meaning there's no balance in the way that the system works. One is ineffectual in a radical sense, and the other one doesn't get anything done. And so you ultimately get people running back to the ineffectual people. People realize they're ineffectual and they run back to Republicans. And you get this seesaw effect, and you can see it sloshing back and forth in the way that it goes to Republicans and it goes to Democrats, it goes to Republicans, it goes to Democrats. Democrats held the House for like 50 years at one point.
Yeah, they did.
What the hell happened? Like, and maybe the question is not what the hell happened. What do you think is going on behind the scenes that we are just fundamentally missing? Because everybody who looks at this can see Republicans are taking a hit on this.
Something's up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, maybe. So we've just established the fact that on this issue, I couldn't have been more mistaken. So with that in mind,
what's funny about that? You're like, I'm pretty good at this, so I give it 10 days.
Right. Well, yeah. Timing right, outcome wrong. But I mean, I was relying on logic and reason.
Yeah.
That was my mistake.
Logic and good sense. Yeah.
This was politics. So of course, obviously, my mind's still spinning. But that, my current thinking, and this could be changed in 10 minutes, but right now I'm thinking this was, they had the fear of what was going to happen with the aviation system. I mean, there were 2,000-3,000 delays a day. They were piling up, and they thought, okay, right now things are coming up Millhouse, but like, what if they stop coming up Millhouse? What if we, what if they kind of like, they're scaredy cats, like, what, like I have a cat. Sometimes he scares himself and his tail goes poof. And it's like, dude, there's no one else here. Like, this is you scared yourself. They scared themselves into thinking, well, okay, up until now it's been going well, but as Americans can't go home for the holidays, or they're late, going home just to grandmother's house over, through the woods, they're going to be upset, and they're going to be upset at us, and the Republicans are going to be able to frame this. That's all I can think. I don't like that theory because it's so fucking stupid.
Yes.
That it's hard to imagine that grown ass men, mostly men, could come up with such a dumb conclusion. But it's the one I'm working with. What do you think?
I don't have a hypothesis on this. I mean, Democrats are usually the party that cares about having government, even though they're ineffectual.
Yeah, I think it bugged them that the government was closed.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can come up with. That they
wanted it to come to an end.
Yeah, they were always skittish about the fact that the government was closed. And so as Republicans were like, whatever, man.
Yeah, this reminds me of a personal story, right? So like, when my parents got divorced, in the divorce agreement between my parents, my father agreed to pay full freight to whatever college I could get into, right? So I got into some Ivy League schools, which were obviously the most expensive schools, including Harvard. So I went to, so the thing is, my dad's like, no, I'm not paying for that. You can go to state school. So I had a choice: either go to court or suck it up and not get the money that to which I was legally entitled. My mom and I, we crapped out. We were like, it's 2 weeks until beginning of school. Looking back, what you should have done is be like, okay, I can, call the bluff of the bully, go to court. It's maybe take a year deferred admission, but then you win, right?
Yeah.
You win. And like, that's the thing, like the Trumpies, they understand that. Democrats don't get that. Like, like the thing is, no risk, no glory. You could get burned. It could hurt you. That's how that goes. But you've got to do it because, you got to take a chance. And, it's like, sure, they could have gotten burned. But what the fuck do they have to lose anyway? Democrats don't control anything. They don't control any of the three branches of government. They're completely out of power. Their media outlets are impotent. Might as well go for the gusto. They were already committed, like you said, 40 days and 40 nights. I mean, just stick with it, play it out, see what happens. Maybe you lose. Yeah. So what?
Agreed. I agreed.
And they really needed to be perceived as fighting. I mean, my mom, who died 5 years ago, I still get her mail, and she was a big donor to the Democratic Party, and I still get these stupid letters from the DNC that say, donate blah 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 blah, donate $500 so we can fight. and I always chortle so we can fight. When do you guys ever fight? And this is and here we go. Well, they were thinking about sort of considering maybe fighting, but they didn't fight because they don't fight. Fighting's not their thing.
Ted Rall, political cartoonist, syndicated columnist, co-host with the Great Manila Chan on TMI that comes on at 10 o'clock. Deprogrammed comes on at 9 a.m. Eastern. And there is the other show
DMZ
on TMZ on
DMZ
Thursday.
at DMZ Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Ted, you're a busy man. My man, thank you for this.
So are you. Talk to you soon, Jamal.
Have a good one. Be safe.
Take care. You too.